Welcome to a special edition of the Mr. Menopause Show, where I am sharing a Menopause Awareness PSA. I'm going to be sharing the truth about menopause products and how you can protect your health. Now, first, I want to ask, have you noticed it too? Because everywhere I scroll, everywhere I shop, suddenly there's this miracle menopause supplement, program, or product that is promising to end your hot flashes, to balance your hormones, or flatten your belly in just a few weeks, right? And look, as a man who works in the menopause space, I've experienced a barrage of ads for menopause over the past few weeks. Everything from supplements, probiotics, weight loss programs, HRT, look, the list goes on. So I can only imagine the influx and the confusion that's being caused for many women out there who are struggling with menopause, which is why I decided yesterday that instead of my usual recorded episode, that I wanted to come on live with a special public service announcement to help you make sense of it all. And look, you might be asking, why now, right? Why this sudden flood of options for menopause that just came out of nowhere? Well, the unfortunate truth is that menopause is becoming a multi-billion-dollar industry. And while that brings more awareness and more innovation, it also opens the door for a lot of companies that are chasing your pain and your wallet with big claims, but oftentimes very little proof. So, today, I am pulling back the curtain in this special edition, honoring the first day of Menopause Awareness Month. And I'm going to be showing you what's really going on, what's at stake for your health, and how to know if a company, a doctor, or a specialist deserves your trust or if it's just another marketing machine. Because your menopause journey deserves clarity, care, and real solutions, not false promises. And for those of you that do not know me, my name is Tafiq Akhir. I am also known as Mr. Menopause. I am the go-to source for reliable menopause and healthy aging support. I'm a certified and award-winning menopause specialist, best-selling author, and your host. And look, if this is the kind of content that you like and that you're looking for, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so that you never miss a future episode. And with that said, welcome to this special edition of the Mr. Menopause Show. Now, if you've noticed the menopause products and programs just popping up everywhere, I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear what exactly you've seen as well. So if this does sound familiar, please feel free to share in the comments, because I'd like to know what you're experiencing, what your thoughts are about all this stuff that you're seeing. And hopefully I'm going to give you some clarity today so that you're able to weed through the noise. Because look, menopause has been around since the beginning of time, right? Every generation of woman has experienced it. Your mother, your grandmother, and the women before them. So why does it feel like menopause just suddenly became the new hot topic in 2025? Well, it's because menopause has become big business. The global menopause market is already worth more than $17 billion and is projected to grow to $24 billion by 2030. In the United States alone, it's expected to hit $9 billion by 2033. And supplements, well, they're nearing a billion-dollar business right now, with projections to nearly double that in the next decade. And that is why your feed is suddenly filled with supplements, powders, gummies, and programs making promises that oftentimes sound too good to be true. You see influencers who are basically showing off these flat bellies and skinny jeans that they're wearing off of a bottle of pills that they're saying that help them get rid of their menopause belly. You see celebrities attaching their names to products, and you see ads that tug at your emotions, promising instant relief. Well, here is where I want you to pause, because the products that worked for one woman does not mean that it's going to work for you. And what's even more important to know is that it does not mean that it's even good for you. Now, I'm just going to use Halle Berry as an example because it's not really her per se, but she's working with this company now, and they're pushing a probiotic uh, supplement of some sort. And listen, I love Halle Berry, love her mission, love how vocal she is about this, and how engaged she is in the menopause arena. And like I said, this information is more about the ad than it really is about her. But the one ad in particular that I saw, at the top of the ad, above a picture of Halle, it says, menopause depletes akkermansia, right? And one of the things that I just wish that every product would say, and not just this one, but every product, whenever you make any type of a claim, whether it's health or another, you should also add for some people, right? So menopause may deplete agrementia for some people because this is what her gut biome microbiome was compromised by. And listen, your gut microbiome may be compromised too, but guess what? It might be a completely different probiotic strain that needs a different type of a supplementation, right? And the lesson here is not whether or not the supplement that she's pushing works or not. The lesson is that what works for Hallie may not be what's best for what your body needs. So, what I always say is be sure to discuss your supplement with your healthcare provider or your pharmacist first. And this is especially important if you're taking any other medications. Look, because the danger of this in this new menopause marketplace is that it makes you feel like you should buy what someone else has used, right? But menopause is not a one size fits all experience. Your needs will be unique. Your supplements and your what you go through is going to be need to be unique as well, because your chemistry, your other hormones, other health issues you may be experiencing, they're going to react very differently to menopause than someone else. So the supplements will interact differently, as well as hormone therapy and all that other stuff differently in your body as well. And look, in many instances, when you pick up one of these new supplement bottles as well, you're going to see a whole lot of things written on them, a whole bunch of different claims, but there's some things that you need to really pay attention for, especially with wording. One thing you might notice is something called proprietary blend. Sounds impressive, right? Like some special recipe that's been handed down from generation to generation. But what it really means is that that company does not have to tell you how much of each ingredient is in that product because it is a proprietary blend. Look, there could be a sprinkle of the ingredient that they're advertising, and the rest could be a whole lot of filler, and you'd never know. Another one that you might see is clinically studied ingredient. Again, that sounds reassuring, but here's the truth. Maybe the ingredient itself, like say black cohosh, which is studied, but maybe it was studied at 500 milligrams per day, while the capsule that's in your hand only contains 25 milligrams. Or maybe the study used an entirely different form of the herb. The label technically tells the truth, but it does not mean the product in front of you has the same proven benefits. And of course, then there is the phrase that gets me every time: balances hormones naturally. Ladies, herbs do not replace hormones. Do not fall for that gimmicky statement. Now, they can support certain functions in the body, and in some cases, even ease certain symptoms, but they do not do the same thing as regulated hormone therapy. That claim is all marketing, not medicine. And again, this is why you must demand transparency. You deserve to know what's in the bottle, how much of it, and whether it has actually been tested. Otherwise, you are buying hope in a capsule. And some of you may be thinking, hey, what's the big deal? If it doesn't work, then I'm just out of a few dollars and I'll just stop using it. But the truth is, there can be real harm. See, in the United States alone, more than 20,000 emergency department visits every year are linked to dietary supplements. And by the way, I'm not saying that menopause supplements are the cause of this. I'm referring to all supplements in general, but menopause supplements still fall under these numbers, right? About 2,000 of those cases that are found every year result in hospitalization. And these are not minor tummy aches, by the way. These are things like liver failure, internal bleeding, seizures, and heart complications. Between 2008 and 2010, the FDA received reports of more than 500 life-threatening events and nearly 100 deaths tied directly to supplements. And the experts believe that these numbers are underreported. Look, and I want to share a story with you because my client Carla, when she came to me first, she was exhausted, she was foggy, she was desperate for relief, and she had ordered a hormone supplement blend that she saw promoted on Instagram or TikTok, one of those, right? And it was packed with exotic sounding herbs. But within weeks, she was having dizzy spells, her pressure spiked, she had a fainting spell as well. So her doctor had to stop her from taking these pills immediately. One of the herbs was interacting with her thyroid medication, and she thought she was choosing something safe because it was labeled natural, but instead it nearly derailed her health. Through her Menopause Made Simple experience with me, she was able to create a wellness plan that got her back on track to feeling like her happy, energetic self again, but with proven probiotics. I'm sorry, proven supplements. And actually, they did include probiotics, by the way. But now I'm not saying that all supplements are dangerous. So I do want to clear that up. Look, I use supplements myself. I recommend supplements to my students as well. Like I just said, I recommended supplements to Carla, but there's supplements that have been studied and that are tested and are proven. And look, many herbs have been well studied and can help when used responsibly. I mentioned earlier black cohosh, red clover is another, saffron is another, but they all have data behind them. But the key is the right supplement in the right dosages for the right person. Not everything that is natural is safe, and not everything that is marked for menopause is appropriate for your menopause body. Now, I need to talk about something else that is becoming more and more common, which is the rise of HRT therapy or hormone therapy providers, especially those who are offering testosterone. Now, on one hand, it is encouraging that HRT is finally getting more attention because for decades it was dismissed or underused, and many women suffered needlessly. But here's the challenge. Not every provider that offers HRT is actually trained or experienced in dosing, monitoring, or long term management that it does require. Hormones are powerful, and when prescribed properly and with the right dosages and the careful follow up, they can actually be life changing in the best way possible. But if dosages are too high, if your levels are not tested regularly, or if your unique health history is ignored, the risks can be significant. And we are talking about potential issues like blood clots, cardiovascular strain, liver problems, and metabolic complications. Now, with testosterone in particular, excuse me, inappropriate prescribing can actually lead to unwanted side effects like facial and body hair growth, voice deepening, acne, and even long-term metabolic or cardiovascular issues. So this huge influx of pushing testosterone for menopause, you need to be very careful and make sure that you're seeing a doctor that knows exactly what they're doing and that knows about all hormone therapy, not just one, not just estrogen, not just testosterone, not just progesterone. If they're saying that they're specialists in HRT, they should know about all of them. I've seen women come in after starting HRT through some trendy clinic or online platform only to discover that their provider never followed up with blood work or adjusted their prescriptions over time. So I immediately urge them to request labs or to switch doctors because that just simply is not safe. Proper hormone therapy is not a one and done prescription. It's an ongoing relationship with a provider who understands menopause, who orders regular labs and adapts treatments to your changing needs and as your body changes as well. And look, the point is not to scare you from HRT. I have clients that are on it. I have clients that I recommend do it. I am on male HRT for myself, which is called TRT. Look, many women find it to be the most effective treatment available. It's not about not telling you not to do it. It's about telling you to be educated when you choose to do it, right? The point is just like supplements. HRT requires the right guidance, careful oversight, and individualized care because without that, everything meant to help you can actually create more problems for you instead. And another thing that's important to know, right, is that medical schools spend very little time teaching their future doctors about menopause. A doctor may graduate with only a few hours of menopause education, with some stating that they got none at all. And these are the doctors that you would think you would go to for support, right? But throughout all their years in school and residency, so that means that unless they pursue additional training, that they are not fully equipped to guide you through menopause effectively. This is why menopause certification matters. When a doctor, a holistic professional, or a specialist like myself is certified in menopause, you can trust that they study the nuances, the evidence, and the appropriate treatment options. And here's another important thing to remember. If your doctor only focuses on one type of treatment or cannot or will not discuss anything else, you should have real questions. Again, menopause care is not one size fits all. You deserve a provider who can talk about hormone therapy of all types, as well as supplements, lifestyle strategies, alternative therapies, and beyond, or at least one that will refer you to a specialist that can help you with those things. But if they shut down the conversation or push only one path, that is a huge red fat flag. Now, one of the things that I've done in a previous episode, and what I'll do is I'll leave a link for you for that as well, is it was called the 5 essential questions that every woman needs to ask her doctor about menopause. Now, those questions actually will give you all the clarity that you need to know if your healthcare provider is truly prepared to support you. And I'll share that link in the episode at the end of today's show. Now, the same goes for companies as well. So if a product makes health claims, that should be backed by clinical trials and published research, not vague statements about ancient wisdom or miracle herbs, right? You want real data, real studies, and real transparency. And look for third-party testing as well, because supplements are not regulated by the FDA like prescription drugs are. So that means a company can put almost anything on a label unless they are caught. But when you see USP verified or NSF certified or third party tested, it means an outside group has verified what is in that bottle. And that is the kind of accountability that you want. And please beware of anyone who tells you that their approach is the only way, or if a company trashes a specific treatment option like hormone therapy, or if they say that supplements are the only way. You need to be skeptical. Again, there is no one size way to do anything, and especially in menopause. Now, if an influencer says doctors can't help, but their powder will, another red flag. Hormone therapy, supplements, acupuncture, fitness, nutrition, lifestyle changes, they all have their place and they all work synergistically together. The danger is not in the treatment itself. The danger is thinking that one approach is the universal answer or has superiority over another. And look, this is why I'm so passionate about menopause and healthy aging education and awareness, specifically for women themselves, because education is the missing piece. And it's what takes women from struggling and suffering through menopause to thriving and living with health, vitality, and confidence beyond it. Look, I've seen it again and again with my students. In fact, Deanna finally felt confident enough to talk to her doctor about hormone therapy after she completed her menopause made simple experience with me. And within 2 months of her hot flashes were gone and she was sleeping through the night again. And she said she felt like herself again. Then there's Darlene, who went from feeling isolated and silenced to speaking openly about her experience and feeling empowered instead of embarrassed. And Heidi, who once thought she was just had to just push through her symptoms and just deal with it like it was just another part of aging. Now she has the tools to build a plan designed around what works best for her and her life. And look, these are not miracle stories. These are awareness stories. And they are proof that when women understand what's happening in their bodies and when they know exactly what their options are, right? And when they have the confidence to advocate for themselves, well, transformation is absolutely positive, right? Awareness is the bridge. It takes you from confusion and chaos to clarity and calm. It's not about copying what worked for a celebrity. It's about creating your own unique path. And that is what work I personally do for my clients. It's what I live for, right? And look, if you want to better understand your options and your next best steps to get closer, there's free things out there that you can do. I have a freebies page on my website, tafiq.com, or you can also go to mrmenopause.com. It'll take you to the same place. And I also have a free quiz that you can take. In fact, you can take, I'll leave it in the description. It's a simple 2-minute quiz that helps you see where you are in your menopause journey right now, and it tells you what kind of support may be the next best fit for you, completely free. So instead of guessing or grabbing the latest trending topic, you can get clear starting point that you can start with now so that you can make clear, confident decisions in the future. Because when you have clarity about yourself, you can finally see where to go to next, right? And part of that next step is just learning how to spot which products deserve a place in your plan and which ones should stay on the shelf. So, you know what I'm going to also do? So I just shared with you the free menopause clarity quiz. I'm also going to give you part of what I use in my training, which is called the Mr. Menopause. It's a Mr. Menopause approved assessment tool, and it's called the show and tell test, right? And you can kind of think of this as a menopause shopping lie detector, right? So anytime a product, a program, or a supplement comes your way, hold it up to this test. And if it passes, then maybe it is worth a closer look. But if it fails, you can put it back on the shelf or just swipe past that ad, right? All right, so show and tell question number 1 is, what's exactly in it and how much is in it? So if you can't tell by the label or by going to the website what's in a supplement and how much it is, then it's like ordering dinner at a restaurant and your waiter coming up with a dish and saying, it's just a secret blend of stuff. Just trust us and eat it, right? Would you eat that? No. So don't swallow it either. You deserve to know the ingredients and the doses in whatever you plan to consume, right? Then show and tell question number 2 is, where is the proof? Listen, testimonials are nice. I have tons of testimonials that I share in my business, but as for supplementation, research is better, because this helped my cousin's best friend's yoga instructor. Well, that's just not the same as a published clinical trial. Show me the science. And if they can't provide it, it's a whole lot of marketing fluff from my point of view. Show and tell test number 3, who is behind it? Look at the source. Is this created by a certified menopause expert, or is it an influencer with a QR code or a discount code, right? Or maybe it's a chiropractor who's using his or her MD credentials to cash in on the menopause movement. Look, there's a lot of that going around right now. So you need to do your diligence and be careful. Now, let me be clear. I am not against influencers. I am not against doctors. I am not against specialists. Some of them do great work. I get referrals from them all the time. I refer clients to them all the time. But accreditation matters, because your health deserves more than a promo code or someone cashing in on your menopause symptoms. And show and tell test question 4 is, has it been tested? See, as I said earlier, supplements are not regulated the way that prescriptions are. So that means that what's on the label might not match what's inside the bottle. Third-party testing means that an independent group has confirmed it, and no testing means that you're basically playing supplement roulette. And then the final show and tell question is number 5, which is, what promises are they making? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Eliminate all menopause symptoms. Red flag. Reverses aging in 30 days. Another red flag. Menopause is not something to be cured. It's a stage of life to be supported. So always look out for honesty in the marketing. And look, there you have it, the show and tell test. Question 1, what exactly is in it and how much is in it? Question 2, where's the proof? Question 3, who's behind it? Question 4, has it been tested? And question 5, what promises are they making? Think of it as your BS detector in 5 simple steps. So the next time a shiny ad tries to hook you, you know exactly what questions to ask before you spend money or risk your health. So here's the bottom line. Menopause is finally being talked about, and that is absolutely amazing progress, right? We've been wanting this for years. I've been working in menopause health for over 2 decades. And so to see this has been a great thing for me, to see celebrities talk about it, to see it on the news, to see products coming out. But it also means that it's becoming a massive industry. And that means more products, more programs, more promises, but also more confusion. And you deserve better than to be sold quick fixes or miracle claims. You deserve clarity, confidence, and most importantly, care. And the fact is, supplements, hormone therapy, lifestyle changes, holistic practices, they all have their place and they all need to work together. The key is to know which ones are right for you. That is why awareness is the foundation. It empowers you to ask the right questions, to demand transparency, and to create a plan that fits your unique body and life. So, the next time you see a shiny new menopause product that's promising the world, pause, ask the questions, look for the proof, and remember that what worked for one person, even a celebrity, may not be what you need. You are not broken. You do not need miracle cures. You need safe, proven support and clarity to know exactly what works for you. And look, if you're ready to take that first step towards clarity, again, you can start with the Menopause Clarity Quiz. It only takes a couple of minutes, and it will give you instant insights about where you are in your menopause journey, how to start building a plan that works for your unique body and life. And you can find it at menopauseclarityquiz.com or click the link that I will put in the description for this video. Also, be sure to watch the 5 questions to ask your doctor about menopause. In that episode, I'm going to put that link in the description for this video as well. Now, this special edition PSA is my way of honoring the first day of Menopause Awareness Month, a reminder that awareness is the foundation of safety, confidence, and thriving through health. Now, before I log off, if there's anyone on with me live that has a question, please type it in the comments and I will check it out. Let me look in the comments. Okay, so one of the questions is, so whatever our naturopath tells us to buy, like ashwagandha, holy basil, etc., is it's not reliable. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is make sure that whoever you're getting those products from, make sure that they're tested, make sure that the amounts of what they say are in there, and that the amounts that actually provide the benefit is in there. Prime example is like when they say vitamin D, you're supposed to have a certain number of IUs, right? You look at the label, see what the IUs are, and see if the amount that they tell you to take meets up to those IUs. Otherwise, you need to get them from somewhere else, right? So, but with supplementation for menopause, most people don't know where else to get those things. Ashwagandha is definitely one that women have said have given them benefits. But again, sometimes these benefits are based on testimonials and not really evidence, science-backed proof or anything like that. So you just want to make sure that whatever it is, whether it's ashwagandha, whether it's like I spoke about earlier, black cohosh, even evening primrose oil, that's another one that a lot of women use. Just make sure that it's good quality and that it's actually beneficial for you, and it's what your body needs. Again, just because something is healthier, that is good for the body, does not mean it's good for your body, if that makes sense. And doesn't look like there are any other questions. So with that being said, once again, my name is Tafiq Akhir. I am your guide and ally, here to take this journey with you every step of the way. I consider myself to be a menopause strategist and educator, which means that I help to connect you with the sources and resources that you need in order to live a highly effective, vibrant, and engaging life with the least amount of symptoms as possible. And that's what you can learn about after you take the Menopause Clarity Quiz. It'll let you know where you are as far as understanding what you need, because maybe you don't even realize the lack of awareness that you do have. And what the quiz does is it lets you know what percentage of information you do know and what percentage of information you need to know. So if you want to take that quiz, head over to menopauseclarityquiz.com. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss an episode. And once again, I'm Tafiq Akhir, Mr. Menopause here. And until next time, please stay safe, ask the right questions, and be well.